love it.
So I moved here in 2004. I was investigating various parts of the country. I wanted to go somewhere where there was a lot of good food, where there was good agriculture, and people who cared about these things. When I got here, I stayed at a little bed and breakfast here, and I said, okay, so where's the vegetarian restaurant? And they said, oh, there is no vegetarian restaurant. I'm like, huh? This is Woodstock. How can you not have a vegetarian restaurant? The idea then kind of solidified in my head. I had always cooked throughout my whole life. Since I was a little child, I liked to cook. And so I just kind of fell right into that. I don't have any formal cooking training at all. I was very attracted to the hustle and bustle of the kitchen and the idea of feeding people. I opened in 2006, in October of 2006. So here we are, 6 years later. Some of the challenges in opening a restaurant in Woodstock was meeting the requirements of the town. This was a pizza place, and I was expanding it into a full-scale restaurant. So that changed the picture. For the first 8 or 9 months, we cooked on hot plates. We had no stove. We did many things in the oven. Like I learned how to make so many things in the oven. Wow. And we had a couple of hot plates, and that's all they would allow us to have. The first thing that happened to me was the first time the line cook showed up in pajamas. And that was, I'm like, why are you wearing pajamas? Well, they're comfortable. And she also had slippers on. You cannot wear slippers and pajamas and work in the kitchen. And that kind of gave me an idea of what I was in for. That was my first clue that I am not in Kansas anymore. One of the best things is to first have people who are unfamiliar with vegan food come and be very happy to love it. So that's very rewarding. It's also very rewarding because my purpose for having the restaurant is not just for money, but to expose people to eating well, and you can eat simple foods and it can be very delicious, and to kind of open up their mind and make perhaps some dietary changes in their own life by eating here and seeing all the different things that we do make. So that's extremely rewarding. Whenever you own a restaurant, you're going to have plenty of colorful and amazing, shocking things that will happen that you just won't believe. Jane Fonda was right in front of our cafe for several weeks filming a movie. And she was there with her team, and we were all wishing that Jane Fonda would come in here and eat. So one day I go to the bank, and I come back, and the server says to me, oh, I just threw Jane Fonda out. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she came with her little dog, and of course the health department doesn't allow us to have dogs inside. Therefore, they did not allow Jane Fonda to eat here, which I could not believe. We had Woody Harrelson, and he had a big dinner party here, and Steve Buscemi, and Phil Donahue was my favorite. He was incredibly gracious. Natalie Portman was here, and occasionally we do get a little starstruck. I get up pretty early and come here, and then I start setting up the kitchen, and then I start looking around to see what kind of vegetables I have and what I want to order. Then I start figuring out what I want to make for the day, for the things that we need. I look over the prep list, I make decisions, I check email and all those kinds of things, answer anything that I need to take care of. And then I come right in the kitchen and I start to work. And basically, about 16 hours later, I'm still in the kitchen, doing the same exact thing. And that is a typical day here. I mean, in the summer it's very, very busy, and there's a lot of distractions, a lot of craziness going on because it's our season. In the winter it's a little calmer, of course, and it still is